My name is Justice Dennis Adjei. I am Justice of the Court of Appeal, Ghana. I'm also an Associate Professor of Law, and I teach subjects including constitutional interpretation, criminal law, and land law in the University of Cape Coast, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And at the law school, I teach interpretation of law. Ghana has a population of about 29.5 million, and it is in West Africa. Ghana lies in between three Anglophone countries. We have on the north, we have Burkina Faso, then we have Cote d'Ivoire, then we have Togo. But quite interestingly, Ghana speaks only English, whilst the neighbors speak French. Now, my topic is about environmental law in Ghana. The environmental law, I will step aside below and talk about environmental degradation with particular reference to illegal mining and illegal fishing in Ghana. I may add illegal quarrying too, because it is also another significant area which people outside Ghana must know. When we talk about environmental law, Ghana is a signatory to almost the international conventions, treaties, agreements, which countries are expected to execute, including instruments by UN, that is United Nations, African Union, then ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States. Ghana has executed all the protocols on environmental laws. Yet we have serious challenges, particularly when it comes to the area of mining. We have beautiful laws on mining. We have the Mining and the Mineral Act, Act 703, as amended by Act 900, which prescribes only two forms of mining in Ghana. The two forms of mining that have been prescribed by the law are large scale and small scale. That means when they are large scale, they are regulated. When they are small scale, they are regulated. And you will not get an area of land exceeding 25 acres for effective operation of small scale mining in Ghana. Now, the problem that Ghana has is that there is something which has become an albatross on the neck of the country, that is illegal mining. Some people may go for small-scale mining and sublet it or give it to people who are not Ghanaians, or some people who are Ghanaians and use all sorts of equipment that are not supposed to be used. They use them, and at the end of the day, they abandon the land. If you see some of the activities by these illegal miners, it is indeed an eyesore. They have polluted the rivers. They have polluted the streams. They have polluted underground waters. Now, it is even predictable to say that a time may come, if not because of government intervention, it would have been difficult for someone in Ghana to get a potable water to drink. But fortunately, there is an intervention now. Even though there is an intervention, still people are carrying on the illegal mining, which in effect is affecting the water bodies in the country. And we say that water is life and life is water. A country without water is going to perish. Now, this artisanal mining, illegal miners, whom we popularly refer to as galamsey, and unauthorized people who are undertaking mining activities are only interested in the extraction of mineral from the soil, but they are not interested in the outcome, its negative effect on the people of the country. Particularly, if the entire water body is destroyed, if the entire water body is contaminated and people drink, in effect, people are going to perish. If you have everything and you don't have life, you have everything, you don't have good health, it doesn't serve any useful purpose. So the main focus of Ghana now is to do away with illegal mining. So the attempt, the strategies, and everything that is being undertaken now is to how to prevent and eradicate illegal mining. And those already in it, those who have been licensed and they have small-scale mining license to operate, even they are still being regulated because some of them have ceded their interest to people who are Ghanaians, others not Ghanaians, and they are illegally mining them with mercury, acid, and serious chemicals which are contaminating the entire water system in Ghana. And if a step is not taken to halt it immediately, then a time may come we find it difficult to survive. Because apart from air, the next thing is water. And if your water is polluted, how do you survive as a human being? So all hands are on deck now to fight against illegal mining, which has become an albatross on the neck of every Ghanaian. Ghana is one of the leading mining countries with respect to gold. But most of the illegal miners, even though they are contaminating our soil, they are contaminating our fish, they are contaminating our waters, our streams, at the end of the day, we don't know even where they sell those gold. They smuggle them outside the country. So it is the wish of every Ghanaian now that efforts are made to abate illegal mining. The next one that we should talk about is illegal felling of trees. When we talk about environment include trees, having good natural activities. Now, the felling of timber have been regulated for years. But as we all know, we have deviance everywhere. People try not to abide by the law purposely to enrich themselves. They undertake illegal felling of trees. Where we have the forests, where people are not supposed to harvest trees, these illegal people may go and harvest trees. When they harvest, they don't plant because their whole activity is illegal. They harvest the trees, they cut them into pieces, they illegally convey them. Some of them use them locally, others send them outside the country. And its negative effect, its ripple effect on Ghanaians is what we are now complaining about. So the test now is, what steps do we take to curb this illegal felling of trees, which have become a trading stock for some people? When we talk about timber and you are not within the system, you may not even appreciate. The system is that there are some concessions. Areas have been given to people with license to harvest the trees. And they have requirements that whenever you fell trees, you must replace the felled ones. Then you replant trees. But these illegal miners, they go and harvest the trees which protect water bodies, which protect the rivers, which protect the streams, and they don't cultivate. At the end of the day, it affects the rivers, it affects the streams, it affects the entire water body. So when we talk about the effects of illegal felling of trees, it is indeed a threat to human existence in Ghana, in particular West Africa. I will not limit it to Ghana because it is within the West African sub-region. And there is a frantic effort we need to fight it. And Ghana cannot fight it alone because most of the trees, when they are felled, they are exported. If people outside the country decide not to buy illegal trees, then they will one way help to curb the trees. But if they are illegally felled, but they are sent to the international market and they are bought, that means they have avenues to perpetrate their illegal activities. And I think if at the world market, whether EU market or wherever, if they are buying logs from any country and they cannot trace the source to make it legal, they should not buy. Because that is one way that can help West Africa to fight against illegal felling of trees. Then the next one I will talk about is illegal quarrying. We have stones, we have rocks. We should make good use of them. There are laws regulating how quarrying should be undertaking. Now, individuals have taken it upon themselves to undertake these illegal activities, quarrying. So at a point in time, if we are not careful, we will deplete the quarry that we have, and the children now, and those to be born, when they come, they will have nothing to fall on. So it is a concerted effort that is being put in place to fight these three illegal menaces. That is illegal mining, illegal felling of trees, and illegal quarrying. Then after this one, let me talk just a little bit about illegal activities on the waters. We have waters. We are talking about environment. Locally and internationally, they come with ships, they come with boats and deposit used mechanical and electrical waste onto the sea. We know that when we deposit this illegal or these used chemicals, used mechanical, electrical waste onto the sea, it is going to pollute the sea. Then we do, and it pollutes the entire sea. When the sea is polluted, what we should understand is that even where it is dumped into the deep sea, it will never remain in the deep sea. It will be brought onto the shores of the country where those electrical and electronic waste have been deposited. So West Africa in particular, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, it is a threat to our existence because they have the Gulf of Guinea, the Atlantic Ocean. But where this electrical and mechanical waste are deposited elsewhere, at the end of the day, they are brought onto their shores. And when they are brought onto their shores, that means the sea has been contaminated. The rivers that drop into the sea, that is their tributaries, they are also contaminated. So it is a prayer that we should fight those who dump electrical and mechanical waste into the sea. We are talking about menace, and it is a serious menace. If you don't want it in your country, you should find a means to bury it in your country. You shouldn't go to somebody's land and deposit it, because when we talk about environment, it affects everybody. Where environment is clean, everybody enjoys. Where it is bad, then it comes with diseases, it comes with sicknesses. When I talked about mining, when I talked about quarrying, the negative effects that they have on the people of Ghana and beyond, the negative effects include sicknesses. When we talk about sicknesses now, we have several of them. We have serious skin disease known as Bururi ulcer. It depredes the skin, and those people affected, you see some of the bones because the whole skin of the human body is removed. Then we have various forms of cancer. Then we have other sicknesses. For example, it has been proved that those who use chemicals, particularly mercury, in illegal activities, illegal mining, when mercury is used and it gets just a small particle gets into a fish, the fish will not die. And when a human being eats that fish, then that human being is going to suffer. And if the human being is not even lucky, he may perish. Why are we selfish? We want to gain overnight, and without thinking about a situation whereby majority of the people are perishing as a result of our illegal activities. Now, environmental law. Let me move on to talk about the siting of gas stations, which is also a problem. Some gas stations have been sited in areas where they are not supposed to be, and quite often we have gas explosion. Just last year, Ghana experienced 2 of its waste explosions, and I don't have the actual figures, but not less than 200 people sustained serious injuries, and some of them even died. Over 30 people of them died. And one sad thing was that even a journalist who was going to cover one of such incidents was perished as a result of further explosion which emanated from the gas explosion. So we want to ensure that the Environmental Protection Agency, they are up to the core. They must execute their constitutional duty. They must execute their legal duty. Then the courts, we at the end of the day, we receive the culprits. So when the culprits come, we must apply the law to the letter. We must impose deterrent sentence to deter other people from doing those illegal activities. And we must also ensure that those sentences will prevent people of like mind from engaging in illegal mining, illegal quarrying, and other illegal activities which are harmful to our environment. Environment is everything. You cannot talk about anything without talking about environment. Environment is generic. It covers everything. If you are talking about medicine, if you are talking about law, you may be talking about history, you may be talking about geography. Without environment, these things will not exist because they don't exist in vacuum. So there is the need. A time has come for people to ensure that we protect our environment. When we talk about environmental pollution, we look at it from various angles. But unfortunately, some countries from the developing countries, we find it a bit difficult to curb some of them, particularly when we talk about smoke emission from cars and others. But a time may come, the developing countries should also be there. That because it is very harmful to the environment. It is very serious. So my lecture would end by saying that when we talk about environment, we shouldn't be thinking about only the positive aspect of environment, but we should think about the negative effect on environments, its ripple effects on those living, those unborn, and those who may be giving birth to about 1,000 years to come. If the entire environment is polluted and they come, it will not be even conducive for survival of their life. Where the environment is poor, both human beings and animals and fishes, aquatic animals cannot survive. And man survive on animals. Man survive on plants. Man survive on water. And these things that we survive on, these are the exact things that we are destroying. We are destroying them now because we are selfish. And a time may come, it will affect our generations and generations to come. In conclusion, we must protect environment. Environment is everything. Environment is life, and life is environment. Thank you.